Hello, guys. Welcome back again. So I was just thinking of different things to do, and in this lab, I'll be simulating a DDoS attack, a distributed denial of service attack. So the core essence or the importance of cybersecurity is to protect the confidentiality, the integrity, and the availability of data or services. So, if any of those components are disrupted, that is a form of threat to the organization. So, in this lab, like I said, I'll be simulating a DDoS attack. I'll be using tools like Wireshark for packet analysis. I'll use Kali Linux as my attack box, and Windows Windows 11 as my target machine. I would enable the Internet Information Service on in the Windows environment. Is a web server that would enable me to host a web page. So I'll create an HTML web page. I would simulate a a normal access to the web page, a normal activity, how you normally access the web page, and I would also use a bash command to simulate a DDoS attack. I will use the call command to perform an HTTP GET request from that server. So after that is done, I would now analyze the packet and to know the kind of things we are supposed to look for in if a DDoS attack. So I'll be enabling the Internet Information Service, and this command you have to run it at an administrator. So the next thing I would do is I would enable the Internet Information Service web server. I will be pasting the command here. Just so this is the command to enable the web server. After that, I would create an index.html document in the web root folder, in the web root directory. Once I've done that, I'll save this HTML text into the document I just created and save it. Just click save and minimize it. So the next thing I'll do, I'll try to simulate a normal behavior accessing that web server from my Kali Linux machine. What I'll try to do now is I'll try to simulate unexpected behavior accessing the web server. But before I did that, I enabled Wireshark in order to for it to be able to capture the packets that is gotten from my Kali Linux machine. So I would run that again. I just ran the command, but I'll run it again. Um, and I will save it. I'll save this and I will save it for the time we're going to be inspecting the DDoS packets compared to the normal behavior. So we would see the differences and the similarity in the traffic. Okay, I'll be explaining this bash command. So the first part of this command is a loop. The I is a variable that determines the repetition of the loop. So it repeats itself 8,000 times, like you can see. The do part of the command is the beginning of the executable part of the command. The call does a request. It is HTTP. It makes HTTP requests. The dash S is silent, and this is the IP address of the server. So it sends an HTTP request to this server. And without this part of the command, we would see the output from this call command. But what it does is that it redirects to this special file. It's a special file that discards any output. And once the command has run, once the loop has completed, this tells it to stop. It's done. So before I run this command, I would go to my Windows to enable Wireshark in order to capture the traffic that is going to be generated from that command. So I've started Wireshark. I'll go back and run the command now. You can see the TCP traffic that's being generated. You can see a lot of traffic is generated over a very short period of time. And also, I want to show you something. I want to show you the tax manager for you to be able to see what is happening during this activity, during this DDoS activity. Is utilizing most of the system resources. That's why it's taking long to even open a utility like a tax manager. Okay, so we can now see the CPU utilization is fluctuating. It's very close to 100%. That is to tell you that there's something happening that is not normal. We can also see the memory. You can see the memory. It's eating up the memory. The disk space. See the disk space. The disk space has the bars have gone up. You can see the internet usage. Can you see it? Everything is being utilized to the max. So that's what a DDoS attack would do within any environment. It would ensure that services are brought to a halt. From what we can see, traffic, HTTP traffic is coming from a specific IP address. A lot of HTTP traffic is coming from a specific IP address, which is very, very suspicious. So I've ended that DDoS attack for me to be able to save the packet that I just captured from that scenario. So I'll save it as abnormal. So the next step is to now analyze those two packets, analyze the normal behavior and analyze the abnormal behavior. So I've been able to open the .pcap file, and so this is the information on in the .pcap file, and from just observing this information, we can see that I can see that there is a specific IP address that has been sending a lot of TCP requests, a lot of HTTP Get requests, you can see a lot of it, and this is an abnormal behavior. So there are a lot of incomplete sync connection over port 80. So this is a lot for a normal behavior from a user. So what I'll now do is now I'll try to filter it down to the specific IP address that I just discovered, which is 192.168.116.134. To do that, I will go to analyze, display filter expression. I'll look for IP version 4, IP version 4. Okay, I've gotten to IP version 4 now. The source or destination address is equals to, I'll type in that IP address I spoke about, 192.168.116 and 134. So we can now see most traffic from the source, which is 196.168.116.134, to our target machine, which is 192.168.116.128. So we can now see that there's a lot of HTTP traffic from that IP address on port 80. A lot of it, and incomplete sync traffic also, which is, like I said, unusual. Okay, so I've been able to add more syntax to the Wires- Wireshark command in order to filter the packets properly. So what I did was I added the TCP destination port, which is port 80, the HTTP port, which is port 80, the method of the HTTP request, which is get, and also call command. So most of the time, call is a scripted command, and is used when you want to automate a process. So it is not a normal user behavior. It is because if we look at the number of times these HTTP requests was carried out. Okay, we can see the normal behavior from the 192.168.116.134, the attack box. We can see the normal behavior. So what I'll quickly do is to filter it based on the filter we used for the abnormal behavior quickly. So we can just see that there's only one HTTP get compared to the abnormal behavior. We, as cybersecurity analysts, we talk about SIM tools and SOA tools, which are used to automate processes, but also tools like Wireshark, TCP dump, and ngrep, tools like that, which are used to monitor traffic, are very important. Now that we understand how to use Wireshark, in my next video, I will discuss about another tool we can use as cybersecurity analysts. See you then.